Good morning, dear children. Hope you are well and good in God's grace. Today, we are going to see about the new lesson, election, political parties and pressure groups. Election day, it's a voters' day. Let's be happy to face it. We'll enter into the lesson. What is election? It's a formal decision that has been making into the process by the society of people. It has been done by the electoral process in India, and the election commission makes the work in a proper way. So we have to carry our voter ID for the election. Yes. It's your vote. You have a right. It's your right to vote. Electoral system in India. It has been adopted from United Kingdom. Article 324 ensures the Independent Election Commission. So, the election commission is not under any political parties or any higher official. It has to be worked independently, freely, and also in a free and fair way of election should be conducted. This is what this electoral system in India says about. Children, do you know what do the electoral system says? Yes. You have your left index finger to be marked with blue ink, which is as like imprinted. So it will not be vanished immediately. This is what is the main thing that has been done for the voters and not for the forgeries. Now let's see the election. We have parliament election in which the members have been elected. So this parliament makes the provision for the parliament election. The same way the state legislature makes the provision for state election. So what these both of them do? It prepares the electoral rolls, the political candidates' roles, and also delimit the constituencies. What's the meaning of constituencies? According to the population, the constituency, the area will be divided. So it will be easy for the population, it will be easy for the voters to vote in a easiest way of reach. That is what is delimitation of constituencies, dividing the areas for the election. Yes, we'll see now what's your right. It's your right to vote. It's our faith, our vote, our voice that has to be expressed during the election. So let the 2020 election be a fair way. Those who have right to vote, please move for vote. Don't avoid the election. How to vote? We have a polling box, and whatever the name, whichever the political party we select, we'll just poll it into the polling box. But this has been done or followed in olden days. Nowadays, we have another part with the polling machine. Okay, when is the National Day of Voters' Day celebrated? It has been celebrated on January 25th, National voter days are celebrated on January 25 of every year. Yeah, we'll move on to Kudavolai system. This is also one type of system for polling, for electing the leader. This has been followed in Chola period, during the Chola period. What's that Kudavolai system says about? Those who are about to select or elect the name of a person, they'll write it in a palm leaf and they'll put it into the pot. And after everyone have been polled their votes, it will be selected by a little child, and whoever she or he picks the name, they will be the leader. This is what is the system that has been followed during Chola period. It's called as Kudavolai system. Here we can see some of the pictures about the Kudavolai system. Okay, now we'll see how we are going to vote. Move to your to the polling place and cast your vote in the ballot box or on the ballot machine to change the history of the nations, that is to elect a new leader. Here you wanted to know about Nota. This is a time for you to know about Nota. This has been followed in the 2014 election. What is Nota says about? By the right side you can see about the polling machine. So you have some of the symbols to which the political party you wanted to be elect. If you never wanted to elect anyone, we have Nota. What's the meaning of Nota? None of the above. None of the above. That's what the abbreviation of Nota. So it's a voter's right to reject the polling. So you need not want to say or deny your voting. Instead, you move on to the polling station and select any leader or poll it in Nota. So it's your right. Here you can see how to press the button Nota, and this has been introduced during 2014 election. So don't ever skip the election. Well, now we'll see the kinds of election. An election is the occasion or the means by which the qualified voters make a choice among two or more candidates. So this is what we are going to select or elect the candidates for the seat in legislature or any other public office. So in this we see two kinds of election. One is direct election, the other one is indirect election. Well children, we'll look into direct election first. Direct election says about the people's participation directly. So this is what is called as direct election, to elect the representatives or the leaders. So vote with pride. Well, remember the National Voters' Day have been celebrated on 25th January of every year. Now we'll move on to the merits of direct election. So it is more democratic. So as democratic, it is free for you. People plays a vital role in this direct election. It empowers people's confidence. Also elect the leaders. So without the people power, the leaders cannot be able to be elected. It also proves that the rulers have to rule accountability. in a genuine way, in a fair way of ruling. What were the demerits? So, in this way of direct election, the whole nation have to be participated, isn't it? So, it will be too much of expensive. And it is a challenge for the election commission because some of the illiterate voters are being misguided. Even they have been bought for money. And also corruption will be high, which violates law and order. We'll look into that. Indirect election. So already when the people have been elected the representative through the direct election, those representative will participate in this. So it's not with the whole country or whole nation. It's only with the participation of representatives. Merits, since it will be with the limited representative, limited participants, it will be less expensive and will be suited for the large countries. The demerits, with the less voters, it leads to corruption also. Also, may not reflect the public opinion because the people doesn't have any opinion or policy to be introduced, only with the representatives. So this leads to corruption. So children, you have come to know about direct and indirect election. We'll move on to the next part, the process of election in India. First of all, the nominee have to fill the nomination. So whoever wanted to be the candidate for the election, they have to fill their details. Then this nomination will be analyzed and campaign for election. They'll move on to the election. And the election day begins, voting or polling day. After that, the vote will be counted and the result will be declared with who will be the winner or winner of the nation or winner of the parties. Finally, the winner will be the ruling party. They will form the legislature. This is how the process of election in India have been made. Now we'll see who were these political parties. The political parties are the essential part that they have been played in the country. They were the link between the people and the government. So whatever the people need, they have to be fulfilled. Whatever the government need, that has to be fulfilled by the people. The meaning of the political party, that is the organization formed by a group of people with certain ideologies. They will have their own ideas and theories. That is well and good for the nation. Well and good for the nation. So those positive ideologies will be the meaning for political parties. So this is how the political parties start their initialization. What were the components? There will be 3 components in the political parties, that is leader, active members and the followers. Leader, you know, we are about to elect through the election. Active members, they were the one close supporters of the leader. And also the followers, they follow what the leader says. And without these 3 have been connected, without anyone, nothing will be done in a proper way. So if the leader is not there, the active members will not be there. If the follower is not there, there is no meaning of leader. So the 3 components is more essential for the political parties. Okay, medias. Without the media, the political parties or the government cannot be able to run in a proper way. So the media is very much essential. It's play an vital role in the election as well as in the nation. Electoral process you have come to understand in a better way, isn't it, children? We'll move on. The state parties and the national parties. So we have some of the state parties, not some, many of the state parties, because with the national parties we consider only 7 national parties. So apart from the 7 national parties, every other political parties have been considered as a state parties. So it is also called as a regional parties. So every state, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, or with Pondicherry, Orissa, every states have their own regional parties, which has been recognized by the percentage of winning votes and number of the seats won in the assembly as well as in the Lok Sabha. By the right side you can see some of the regional parties. Symbols of political parties. Here are the main symbols. You know very well what were the symbol and it belongs to, and other symbols of the Tamil Nadu regional parties. Now look into the national party. It has to win at least in 4 states. So at least throughout the nation, the India, 4 states have to hold the political party. Then only it will be considered as a national party. The parties have to be registered with the election commission. Without the registration, it will never have the name as a political party. Also, the unique symbol will be given, which have to be used only by the official candidate. You know very well, after the death of Jayalalitha, our former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, there were a dispute between 2 guys. That is, with our present CM and with Pannirselvam, isn't it? So, both of them are about to gain for the symbol. We call it as twin leaf or rectangle. Later they were compromised. That's a lengthy story. Well, now what you have to understand is it's a unique symbol which can be used only by the official candidate of that political party. So by 2017, the national parties have been recognized and fixed to 7 national parties. Here you can see the 7 national parties symbols. Okay, look into the pictures of ruling party. Yeah, can you able to recall who were they? Well, thank you for your remembrance. Okay, functions of the political party. The election between the candidates put by the political parties. It's the first main thing. They were about to contest in the election. And also they put forward their policies. Not only that, the political parties plays a vital role in making laws and also to form and run the government. Okay, and also shapes the public opinion. Whatever the public says or their needs, that has to be fulfilled through the laws. So this has to be directly done by the political parties. That's why the political parties are called as link between the people and the government. And who is considered or called as an opposition party? The next to the winner is called as opposition party. The role of opposition party is very, very important. It's given a special permission and rank as a cabinet minister. Even though they were the loser, if they were about to win next to the ruling party, they have been given a higher way of position. As a cabinet minister, they enjoys and enters into the parliament. They were about to criticize the ruling party and focus the mistakes. So through this criticization and the mistakes that opposition party focus, the ruling party will be able to correct themselves. And the opposition party also questions the functioning of the government. The government have to be worked for the favor of the public. If not so, the opposition party raises question against the government. It checks the public money expenditure. It should not be wasted. It has to be utilized only for the people. So whenever there is a genuine demands, the opposition party requests for the public. It plays a constructive role, building a process in a democratic government. Okay, opposition parties of Tamil Nadu. Already we have seen the ruling party, now it's with the opposition party. Can you able to analyze their names with their parties? Yes. We have Mr. Vaiko, Mr. Stalin, Mr. Tirumavalavan and Mr. Vijaykanth, the opposing party leaders. Okay, we'll see about the pressure groups in India. The pressure groups are otherwise called as interest groups or vested groups. Who were they? Why they wanted to be called so? They were the one who takes active part in promoting and defending the common interest. They attempt to bring change in public, the society, and also gives pressure to the government. But they neither contest or nor capture the power. They never wanted any position, but hardly they wanted the public opinion to be fulfilled. This is what are called as pressure groups. They can also criticize the government or other organization. They can protest and demonstrate to get issues heard. You know protest, isn't it? Procession. Or they can raise their voice against the government without harming or without disturbing the society. They can also use media to publicize their cause. They must not tell any lies against the government. If so, they will be arrested. They must obey to the law and protest peacefully. That's what I told you. They should not disturb the society. So they must give accurate information and follow the rules. So this is how the pressure groups works for the society, works for the nation. We have some sort of pressure groups. This is what is the protest. And over here, there's even a single issue the pressure groups have banded together to form a broad-based political party. So if they raise against the government, sure that government have to withdraw. Okay, what about the pressure group in India? Even though it's a larger group, they were unable to develop to the extent of other countries, as like the extent of other countries. So it's still in namesake. Functions. Works for the interest of the people's policy and non-aligned with any political party. They never join with any political party because they work individually, solely, as part to make political decision, policy decision. Carries positive public works, through the petitions, marches, demonstrations, and also the political protest also they does. Here we see some of the example of pressure groups. AITUC, IMA, AISF. So like this, Tamil Sangam, Tamil Nadu, Vivasayigal Sangam, all these were called as a pressure group. They never joined with any political party, but they raised for their voice and also for the society's voice and give pressure to the government to fulfill their needs. Okay. First one, the political participation. So as we have seen earlier, the petition, demonstration and political protest also, they show their pressure to the government. Then next, they have been educated through maintaining websites, carrying out research, commenting government policies. All these have been given knowledge to the people, to the public. Not only that, we can say that the policy makers. So policy formulation, even though they don't have importance in policy making, but without their consent, the policy cannot be made. So it is also otherwise called for advising the government. So the pressure groups is a very must that is needed for the society, which plays a vital role in changing the government. Next is mobilization and people's participation. Okay, children, mobilizing people towards socially productivity activities that lead to the overall betterment of people's lives is essential. So when mobilizing the people towards the need or for the betterment, they are also being called for the help during the natural calamities, for the emergency relief. So that's why people have to be mobilized together. It should be a democratic way of participation. Democracy can succeed only when smaller group, or in fact every citizen, can take action that supports with the tax and revenue or observation of national norms, or to protect the environment, cleanliness, health and hygiene. All these have to be done individually by every people. This is what is democratic participation. So without this democratic participation, we cannot able to have a clean India. So children, hope you understand the lesson very well. Election, political parties and the pressure groups. So without the mobilization of the people participation, we cannot do anything. Thus we end today's lesson. We'll move on to the homework session. I have marked the answers and given you with the pages in the slides. Please open the book, mark the answers properly and learn the answer. Write it, gets duly signed from your parents and post it today evening between 5 to 6. This I say you every time, but you girls never worried about that. Children, please post it between 5 to 6. If not so, if you have any problem in that, you can post it later. Have you got it? Well, God bless you. Thank you, Ma.